I've seen that my witty attempts to get you to do nice things for me have been working, so I wanted to say thank you to everyone that has rated, reviewed, subscribed, and shared the podcast recently, as well as welcome the new patrons that have come in over the last few weeks. I'm not going to name you all individually because I find that weird, but I do want to say hello. I see you, I appreciate you, and I hope you're enjoying the extra astrological content. And I also want to say thank you to my pre-existing patrons and ones that have been with me for literal years now. Thank you guys. You mean the world to me. If you want extra spicy astrological content and my eternal gratitude, consider becoming a patron of the podcasts. This is both for this one and for Moon Matters. Not only does it make you a comrade in my mission to keep astrological resources like my podcasts out from behind paywalls and completely ad-free, but it also grants you access to my zine, where I write weekly horoscopes, lunar horoscopes, all the horoscopes. I also have retrograde guides and sometimes other astro extras when time permits. Right now, my books are open and I'm taking clients, so I'm focused on that. But there will be cool articles that come out in the future that I'm working on. But weekly horoscopes, lunar horoscopes, and retrograde guides are always guaranteed. I mentioned that my books were open last week, and they still technically are, but there's only maybe 3 or 4 spots left at the very end of September, and that's at the time I recorded this, so who knows in real time. So if you have a birthday coming up and want a solar return reading, or you just want a reading in general, or you want to take a class with me, go snatch up one of those spots. Last week's weather was intense, but in a good way. So let's see where we're going after all that and where we landed and what this week is bringing us. Like I said, last week was intense. We had Mercury stationed direct and the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in Cancer. I feel like for me personally, it was a loud week. I felt it mostly through my husband because it was super loud for him, but it was still super loud in general. Everything was good, but there was definitely a lot of movement and an opening of the floodgates, and it was like we just needed to follow the flow of that energy. This week, we're needing to work with the energy of the previous week. If you decided at all to walk through any doors that Jupiter and Venus opened, or if you took an opportunity that it presented, then you need to begin finding your footing and making the appropriate adjustments so that you can begin to settle into the growth. It's likely that whatever Jupiter and Venus opened up for us, it wasn't completely set in stone or it wasn't fully formed yet, but it was an opportunity. There's still work that we need to do on our end to complete the benefic transaction for that opportunity, but it doesn't matter. There was likely a good bit of benefic movement regardless within the realm of Cancer. It's just now we're sort of firming it up, so to speak. Venus has been steadily separating itself from Jupiter since last week, and that energy is winding down, leaving Jupiter all by its lonesome again. It's not making any other aspects, it's just chilling in Cancer yet again. The big event has already happened within the realm of Cancer. There's still goodness swirling because Jupiter is there and it does receive its exaltation there, but that big rush of benefic movement, that's come and gone. So I hope you use it to your benefit in some form or fashion. There's still gonna be goodness swirling in that area, but last week with that Venus-Jupiter conjunction was really an opportunity to do something, to trust the process, to grow, to open doors. So I do hope that you capitalized on it a little bit. Since Jupiter is back to its lonesome, we are going to be feeling those growing pains again a little bit that I talked about weeks ago. Trust the process, keep following the flow within the realm of Cancer, keep taking up space, keep pushing ahead, keep expanding. It's all for your own benefit. There is a little Chiron action taking place this week with both the Sun and Venus making aspects with it at some point. Remember that Chiron is one of the placements that's engaging in retrograde motion at the moment. So this week is going to hold opportunities to further examine our wounds within the realm of Aries on a deeper soul, karmic-y kind of level. When you get irritated with something, when a past hurt comes up, stop yourself and ask, why is this still hurting? How can I work with this better? What is the true root of the irritation or the wound? Our wounds are going to be highlighted, and we're going to be put in situations that allow us to work with those irritations, with those past wounds. However this manifests, it's going to be in a similar way that happened probably around a year or so ago, last time when Chiron was retrograde in Aries. This is an opportunity to show your growth, to replay the situation in a way that gives you a better, more sustainable, more aligned outcome. The House of Aries is really going to flavor this whole situation with Chiron, and I have a more detailed look at that for each rising sign in my weekly horoscopes. Alongside Chiron is Saturn, who is also still engaging in retrograde motion. Saturn and Chiron aren't close in degree or anything like that, but I wanted to mention that those aspects with Saturn and all the outer planets are still in play. Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus are still speaking with Saturn, and Saturn and Neptune are both still retrograde. So there's a lot of energy within Aries and the houses ruled by Aquarius and Gemini, which is where Pluto and Uranus are, that they're still getting an overhaul, and we're needing illusions or confusion cleared up in order to embrace a greater sense of autonomy and discipline. That's been an ongoing thing for a while now. That's nothing new. But I haven't mentioned it in like 2 weeks because there's been other important astrological things happening. So I wanted to give you a reminder that that is still very much in play. Besides those aspects that I mentioned, we do have an important ingression and a lunar event this week. Leo season officially comes to a close on Friday as the sun saunters into Virgo, allowing Virgo season to officially begin. Remember that when the sun moves into a new sign, our consciousness shifts into that area of life. So it's going to shift into the realm of Virgo. Whichever house that is for you, check that out. That's a place that will be illuminated and you'll be a lot more aware of for the next month. And in general, since the sun's going to be in Virgo, we're going to be a lot more aware of everything in general. Luckily, Mercury already stationed direct, so the ruler for this solar season is starting off strong. I feel like Leo season got the short end of the stick, if I'm being honest. All summer has just been intense. It's been a lot of intensity. There was a lot of movement, and some cute things did happen, like that Venus and Jupiter conjunction. It was cute, but there was still stress and drama and intensity being brought up along the way. This Leo season was less about being flashy and being dramatic just for the sake of drama, and it was more about embracing autonomy, more than anything, in my opinion. With all the astro weather we've had over the last month, we've been pushed to speak our minds, sink deeper into personal truths, and travel a more authentic path. Virgo season is going to tone that down just a little bit. We still have Saturn working on that, but Virgo season is going to tone it down. And we're probably going to be working on hammering out all the details of the changes that we've recently made or the opportunities that we've decided to capitalize on. Shortly after the sun ingresses into Virgo, so does the moon, and we have ourselves a new moon. I'll be going into way more detail in my lunar horoscopes, but right off the bat, we're being hit with the realm of Virgo asking us to settle ourselves and make a plan. The new moon will be urging us to, again, hammer out details. Virgo is big on the details. It's like, how are we doing this? Who, what, where, why? Everything. This is Mercury, and Mercury is now direct, so our minds are moving forward. We need to create a plan. The new moon is really telling us, like, hey, we got to get it together. We had all this movement and all this opportunity and all this stress and all this drama. So where are we taking it? What are we doing with this growth? I know us Libra risings are going to begin a 12th house solar season, so my heart goes out to all of us. I wish us all the luck as we navigate the anxiety and the intensity of the Virgo energy that we're about to encounter, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just take a nap. It'll be okay. Overall, this feels like a week that's wrapping up the energy of the last week before it tries to begin something new. If you made any big moves last week or you took advantage of an opportunity, like I've been saying, make sure you have your bases covered before you're moving on or that you continue to expand. The growing pains will be a lot less painful if you plan accordingly and put in some legwork now. Once the new moon arrives, you should have a decent idea of how you're moving forward and where you want to place your intentions for the next month. Thank you for tuning into this week's forecast. If you want a more detailed look at what this week's astro weather holds for you personally, go to my website, moonmattersastrology.com, and sign up to receive my zine. You can also find me on Patreon by searching for Moon Matters. The best way to keep up to date with my work or to book a reading with me is to sign up for my mailing list on my website. I'll meet you back here next week. But until next time, later days.